Hi there. Um, Today, we are going to answer a very pertinent question that most of the people in SEO or people who work with SEO agencies have, right? So, if you are a businessman or a marketing person who does SEO or deals with people in SEO, trying to figure out how do you set an SEO budget, or how do you decide the ROI for an SEO budget, um, this video is for you. This is going to help you figure out how to get the most of your SEO efforts. How do you decide an SEO ROI? Now, for that, you need a couple of things. First, you need to know that SEO affects your top of the funnel metrics. What that means is SEO brings more people to your funnel, right? So it creates awareness, it acquires customers, and all of that. But there is little that SEO does to go to the bottom of the funnel, right? As you go towards the bottom of the funnel, where you're trying to sell to the customer, less effort, less is the contribution of SEO, right? So let's try to understand that with an example. All right. Let's say you are a soap brand, right? You have let's say a Shopify store, and you're trying to sell your own homemade soaps. Now, what SEO will do is SEO will help you get more people to the website, right? So it'll start ranking you for, say, homemade soaps, organic, you know, whatever soaps and all of that. Um, Anything related to skin cleaning, um, bath, all of those kind of things, right? So it is core set of keywords, which is soap product related, and then you also have the keywords related to the solution and the problems, right, that you're trying to handle. Now, so SEO will bring people to the website, right? You will have content around these topics, so people will get convinced, or it will start building credibility and trust, right? So all of that is basically top of the funnel, right? You're trying to create awareness about your brand. You're trying to make sure that you convince them enough to at least give their contact information to you, right? So the moment they gave contact information to you, I call it middle of the funnel, right? In the middle of the funnel, you are basically, so I'm basically also summarizing what a funnel is. But in the middle of the funnel, you'll once you get the contact information, you're now trying to nurture that lead, right? You'll send them email newsletters. Maybe you will give them some promo codes. Maybe you will tell them, hey, here's a free sample you could try, something like that, right? So you're basically engaging with them in the middle of the funnel. You're trying to build a relationship there, build more credibility, get them to test the product at least. Now, once that happens, then if they get convinced, they go to the bottom, where they actually try your product, they like it, and they buy it, right? Now, it could be you could give them a sample or a low priced product first, and then sell them a much higher priced whatever product set you have. Or you could give them a sample and get them to try it. Maybe you are selling them a subscription, maybe you are selling them just one time product, things like that, right? So that's how a typical business works, right? So from the top of the funnel, you're slowly engaging with you're first creating the awareness. You're engaging with them consistently once you get the contact, and then you're trying to sell them your product, and then hoping that they will keep repeating the purchase or refer you to other customers and all of that, right? So this is how a typical flow of any customer happens, from a stranger to a customer. That's the flow that many people go through. Some of them, may directly become customers because they are willing to try, and maybe the price is not big enough for them that they can easily try it out and all that. But typically this is the flow, right? Now, in this, what are we trying to what does SEO do? SEO basically works on the top of the funnel. As you go towards the bottom, the effect of SEO reduces, although it builds credibility over all aspects of the funnel. The biggest impact that you see is on the top of the funnel. Now, why is this important? Because knowing this, you know that when you calculate the ROI, you need to basically focus on the top of the funnel, because those are the that's the best place where you can see the effect and all of that, right? And anything in addition to that, you can consider that as a bonus, right? So what have we decided, like kind of concluded so far, is that any SEO effort, focus on the results on the top of the funnel. Now, what are the metrics that come in the top of the funnel? What are you talking about in the top of the funnel? You're saying that how many people are aware of your brand, how many people feel that have gained trust for your brand and product. How many people are coming to your website? How many people are clicking on the results that you show up on the search results? Things like that, right? So basically, the number of visits to the website. That's what top of the funnel would mean. Given this, and the other metric could be number of signups, correct? So you would measure the metrics that give you the data for these points: number of people who visit the website, number of people who see our result on the search engine page, um, number of people who sign up to our newsletter or whatever free sample or whatever you are giving, so that you get their contact information, things like that, right? So these are the metrics on which you will measure the efficacy of your SEO effort, correct? Okay, now with this, now we are ready to figure out what is the ROI, right? And for that, I will start sharing my screen, and then I will kind of walk you through it. I also have a blog about it, so it will be easy for you to eventually um, read the whole thing if you don't want to just um, if you don't want to just watch this video. Okay, I hope you can see the screen. All right, so I'm going to go. This is the blog that I've written. I'll share the link in the what do you call it, description, so you'll get it. But let's start with the beginning. Okay, now let's say your current average. You look at the this thing, the table that you see here, right? The current average monthly traffic via search, let's assume. So this is all data that you get in something like a Google Search Console and all of that. So it's easy to get. Google Analytics will also show you many of these things. But Google Search Console is kind of the best source for it. So you just need the current average. So what is the number of people? What is the amount of number of visits that people are having from the search results, from search results that where you show up, right? So if you, let's say, show up 100 times, maybe you get clicked 2 times, right? So that's your, so 2000 is those number of times that you're showing. uh, so not showing, sorry, people are visiting your website. So this is the total number of traffic that you're getting from search. Now let's say, because of the SEO efforts, you are able to increase your number of clicks by 5%. Now this is very typical. Like if you have, let's say, 2000 clicks in a month, in a quarter, so the period depends. I would say that you focus on month, right? Because then all the calculation can be done based on the month, and then you can kind of extrapolate it for a quarter, for a year, and all of that. So let's start with month. So let's say you have 2000 visits a month, right? Typically, any SEO effort would give you at least 5% month on month increase. Now, this is very generic. This is not, I'm not saying that if it is less than 5%, it's bad, or greater than 5%, it is great. It also depends on the base. It depends on a lot of other factors, but 5% is a good average to assume that you will get month on month, right? That's a bare minimum you would typically get. Sometimes we have had clients where I have given 50%, 100% increase in clicks, but that's typically when the base is small. As the base increases, those numbers go down to 10%, 20%, sometimes 5%, sometimes even it goes down like negative, because the website might have changed, a developer might have changed something on the website. There are a lot of factors that can happen, but for now, we'll assume that it is 5%. All right. Now, so which means that you are going to get an additional clicks of 100 more visits, right? 5% of 2000. Make sense? All right. Now, once you have this, which means your SEO effort is bringing you 100 more visits to the website, right? This much is clear. Now, you need to know how many, for those 100 visits, how many sign up, right? Now, signing up, like let's say you're reaching a blog, right? One of those visits is on a blog, right? Now you'll read the blog, you may have a sign up for subscription, newsletter, free sample, or whatever underneath the blog, right? Or maybe in the footer of the website itself. Now when you have that, now you can see that, okay, out of these 100 visits that you had, additional visits that you had, you typically convert 5% of it, right? And this is a very hypothetical number. This varies drastically depending on what kind of business it is. B2B will have a different one, B2C will have a different one. Even in B2C, you might have different kinds of numbers here depending on the kind of landing page, the copy, and all of that. So it really depends. If it's a blog, it might not be as much. If it's a landing page, it could be more. So it varies, but we're going to assume another 5% here, right? Which means that every time 100 people visit, you get 5 signups. Now these are like potentially these are leads, but potential customers, right? Now you need to figure out how to convert them into customers. Here the job of the SEO kind of ends, right? So SEO can get people to the website. The the sign up happens partly because of the SEO, but also because of the copy. So it depends on how the content is, like the writing of it. Are there CTAs in the blog, things like that. There are a lot of factors that decide whether people end up giving their contact information or not, right? So the so this part is completely in SEO's control. This part is partly in SEO control, right? Not entirely. You need copywriters and all of that. You need content team, CRO. There are people called CRO, like conversion rate optimization team, who specialize in converting more, right? For now, we are just trying to take a assessment of where is our baseline, like what's the benchmark right now, so that we can improve. Like once you have these numbers, no, then you can decide, okay, this is the area where I am getting less number of conversions, and let me focus to put my efforts to increase that, right? This is going a little beyond SEO, but this is important because that's when you will be able to calculate the ROI, right? You need to bring everything from SEOs to the final sales or profits, right? So that's why we are doing this exercise. So play with me. All right. So once you get the number of leads, let's say there are you get 5% of hundreds, that's 5, right? Of these 5% people, or 5 people, you're able to convert 1. Now what does that mean, convert? It could mean you gave them a free sample, and they loved it and they subscribed, or they bought um, uh, one product, one unit of the product. That could be the definition. You have to define what it means to be a customer, right? Will you call somebody who's trying the free sample a customer, or somebody buying a something like a very small low ticket item, like a 10 rupees or a $1 item, and you will call that a customer? Depends, right? You have to decide what you would call as a customer. Now once that happens, you know that, okay, of the 5, I'm able to convert 1. So every 5 leads that you get, 1 you are able to convert. So that's 20% conversion ratio, right? So 20% of 5 is 1, and which means that even if nothing else changes, you're getting an additional 100 people every month, right? You're going to get at least 12 additional customers from SEO, right? Now this is highly simplified. Why? Because this 100, this base is also increasing, right? Right. First month it will be 2,100. Next month it will be 2,205. So you are basically calculating number of signups based on 5% of 2000, 2,205, right? So that means this will become 10 in the second month, right? So these numbers also increase. So it's basically cumulative, but I'm not doing that. I'm just saying that, okay, let's assume worst case scenario, you'll have ups and downs and this and that happens, some business strategy changes and all of that. You'll still be able to get 12 customers, new customers from SEO, right? Okay. Now, given this, you know that if you put X amount of effort and you're able to get 5% increase in the SEO efforts, you are able to get 12%, 12 additional customers, right? Now, we need to know how much are these 12 customers worth, right? How much is one customer worth? Now, one of the common mistakes that many businesses do is that they value the customer based on the first sale they do or the first 2 3 sales they do. This is wrong, and I'll tell you why. Because acquiring a customer is hard, but once you have the customer, no, reselling to them is easier, right? So which means that, let's say a customer comes to you and buys, let's say, twice in a year, right? For you to sell to that customer again the next year is easier than getting a new customer, right? So you need to know how many times can you sell to that customer. Maybe it is just one, but maybe it is not, maybe it is more than one, right? That's where this calculation of calculating customer lifetime value comes into play. Now I'm going to tell you how a very easy way of calculating. One of the common problems that I have noticed with a lot of customers is that they customers as in clients, is that they do not have a very strong CRM solution, customer relationship management solution. So they don't get this number right away. Like many CRM solutions will give this number right away, so you don't have to calculate it. But I'm going to assume that you don't have all those fancy things, right? Because a lot of customers do not have. If you are that big, then maybe you won't be watching this video, because you'll have like a big SEO team in-house, right? So let's calculate the customer lifetime value. Now, first thing that you need to know is what is the average order value per year per customer, right? So a customer comes in, how much does he order, right? What is the worth, what is the dollar value of the order that is he or she is giving, right? Now, how do you calculate that? I prefer going by the last FY. Now, if you're a startup or a very early stage company which is growing like 50%, 100% year on year, this number will swing wildly, because your numbers are changing every month. But if then you will have to figure out, maybe for this year itself, or the last 12 months, maybe you can take that. But for most other businesses, you can take total revenue of the last FY financial year divided by the total number of orders. It'll give you an average order value, correct? Very straightforward. You had, like, let's say, I don't know, $10,000 worth of sales in the last FY. I'm taking very small numbers, but let's say $10,000 worth of sales, and you had, let's say, I don't know, 10 customers, right? In the entire year, you're selling big ticket item. Then the average order value, or 10 orders, sorry, 10 orders, then it means that you are having $1,000 per order, right? That's your average value. If you had 20 orders, that's $500 per order, right? Okay. Now, average number of orders per customer per year. Now, which basically means that the total number of orders, in our case, it was 20. Now, let's say it came from just 5 customers, right? The 20 number came from just 5 customers. Then that would mean that you are 4 per customer per year, right? So you're basically having 4 orders per customer per year, right? And each order is worth $500, right? That's what we calculated, right? $10,000, $10,000, 20 orders, $500, and you had like 20 orders from 5 customers, so 4 orders per customer, right? I have some values here in INR as well. So let's say your order value is 50,000 rupees, and you had 2 customers per year, 2 orders per customer per year, right? Now you know what is the average order value, average number of orders per customer, right? Now you need to know how long does the customer live in your business life cycle, right? Is the customer there with you for 2 years, 1 year, 3 years, 4 years, whatever it is, right? You need to figure that number out, right? I have a very unique way of doing this, because this, I feel, is practical for any business, even if they don't have fancy CRMs and all of that. So you could do either this or some variation of this. Like it's a very, I think it's a very clever trick. What you do is first you need to figure out what are your active customer bases. You want to know the current customers, right? You don't want to know somebody who is old, right? So you want the first active customer base. Now, you want to know what is your active customer base for some certain period. Now, how do you define a customer as active? For some businesses, it is last 12 months. Any customer who has come in the last 12, not come in, but ordered in the last 12 months is a customer, is an active customer. Anyone who has ordered in the last 12 months. For some, it might be 2 years because some cycles are longer. So you might need a longer time frame. But I would suggest that never take anything less than 12 months. Take at least 12 months, right? So take 12 months or 24 months, but whatever it is, you take. So in this example, I have what I have done is I've taken the current FY and the last FY. So let's say we are 6 months in, it means 18 months. If you're just 3 months in, it's 15 months, right? Then what I do is, given this, I look at for all the customers in that list of the last, let's say 15 months. Okay, I'm taking 15 months. So in the last 15 months, whoever was my customer, I will look at what is their oldest invoice, the first invoice they had. When was it? Why? Because that will tell me the age of the customer, correct? So I got the active customers, and then I'm saying, okay, what is the age of the customer that I'm looking at, right? How do I do it? I check their first invoices, right? And then I divide them into buckets of age, 1, 2, 3. You see this age column here, right? Age. So this column is 1 year, 2 year, 3 year old, 4 year old, 5 year old, till 10 year old. Don't take more than 10. Typically 10 is enough. You might not even have the business for 10 years. So whatever the number is, but I'm saying take it to 10 if you have existed for that long, but don't go beyond 10. It's okay. Some level of because your business strategy might change. A lot of things might change in 10 years, right? So anything more than 10, I don't think it makes sense. Again, so you see the number of customers whose age is at 1 year is less than 1 year old, less than between 2 and 3, between 1 and 2, 2 and 3, and all that, right? So that's how I've taken. You can actually include anything less than 1 also here. Assume that to be 1. So that will give you all the people in the, you'll put all the customers in the same bucket, right? Okay, now once you do that, this is a weighted average formula. Now you may not remember this, like you don't need to know the maths of it. What I have basically done is I actually calculate the sum product, like it's a weighted average. It's a mathematical concept. I've taken a weighted average divided by the number of customers. So sum product of the customers and the age divided by the sum of customers. It comes to, in this example, in this hypothetical example, it comes to 5.7 years, which means average lifespan for a customer in years is 5.7. Okay. Now I know a typical customer, average customer, lives in my business for 5.5 years, 5.7 years, right? And I also know how much they give in 1 year, right? I know that as well. So average order value into average number of orders they give per year gives me their value for that 1 year, into the lifespan will give me their customer lifetime value. That's it. You multiply these 3 variables and you will get your customer lifetime value. In this example, in INR, I get it as 5,67,550, right? Now this number is your customer lifetime value. Now hear this properly, okay? What does this mean? This means the 12 customers that we are getting, each one is worth this number, right? 567,550, right? That's the value of the customer for one customer, right? Now I need to know, if I need to calculate the ROI, all I need to know is, okay, if I'm getting 12 customers, it means if I multiply that by the CLTV, which is customer lifetime value, I get what is the ROI from my SEO effort in 12 months. Now, there are some assumptions here. You remember SEO, I'm continuing for 12 months. Every month, I have not increased the number in a compounding fashion, right? It's not cumulative. It's like I've just added one per month, one new customer per month. So you had 100 new visits, 5% of that was the leads, so 5 new leads. Of the 5, I assume that 20% you're able to convert, so 1 is your new customer per month, and I assume that every month you're only going to get 1, which is actually not true. Typically it adds up, right? So the base increases, the traffic, so the number of customers added per month also increases. That's how typically it happens. But if you're new to SEO, this is a safe calculation. This is a very conservative calculation, right? So yeah, so do that. Now, given this, in our example, the number that you get is this is 68 in Indian currency. It is 68 lakhs 68 lakhs 10,596 rupees. That's the additional revenue that you're going to get, right? So of this 6.8 million, what you're now going to do is, okay, this is the revenue that I'm getting, right? Now, what is the gross? Let's say your gross profit margin is 30%. It means that in 12 months of SEO effort, you can get up to 20 lakhs in additional profits, not even revenue, additional profits, right? Your bottom line is this much, right? I'm not getting into net profit and stuff, but gross profits, right? Okay, given this, so what is your maximum SEO budget that you can have? Simple. If your profits is 100, you can have up to 100 rupees or $100, right? So in this case, your maximum SEO budget for 12 months would be 20 lakhs. Anything less than 20 lakhs is fine, because you're going to get that much. Now, once you have that, you divide that by 12, and you get the monthly SEO budget. Now, there are a few caveats as well in this. First of all, before that, I have included a free SEO budget ROI calculator. I'll put this link in the description, and this is how it would look, right? You need to just fill up your the gray cells, sorry, the gray cells. So you need to put what is your average here, what is your like, let's just assume 5% for SEO. You can change that if you want. Number of signups, from number of visits, how many what percentage of signups do you get for the number of visits that you're having? What is the number of customers that you are able to convert for the leads that you have? And then you need to calculate the CLTV, this number 5,67,000. Again, you don't need to fill only the gray cells. Okay, now, so if you go down, you will actually see the this calculation, right? So you can just fill this up, and you'll be able to get the numbers. Average order value you will have to fill. So again, this is something, and I have put the calculation, the formula for it here, right? You see, for last FY, number of total number of orders divided by total number of customers will give you the average orders per customer per year, right? Simple. So this calculator is like great for all the calculations. All of this is formula based. You just need to fill the gray cells and you are done. I'm going to give it for free anyway. So what you will get the link, and you will see the link like this. Okay, let me put this here. You'll see this use template. You see at the bottom, sorry, top right, use template. You just click on that. The moment you click on that, it will create a copy for you, and then you can use it. Fair enough. All right. Now, so that's how you calculate. Now, there are some caveats to it. Okay. Now, and that's important for me to talk about, because when you do this calculation, no, one of the things that I've noticed in some clients, especially people who are new to SEO, who have not done it, they're skeptical about SEO. It's not their fault, partly because there are a lot of these mediocre SEO agencies and freelancers who would exploit them and say that, hey, it takes 6 months, so you give me money for 6 months, I'll show you later, and all of that, which is true, but you don't have to blindly trust them, right? There are ways around it, and that's what I'm trying to show here. See, if you are saying that you are going to get 5% increase month on month, and you know that you're able to get 100 extra visits in a month, you know that, okay, SEO is kind of working. You can always go deeper into it, like what is the kind of keywords that people are coming, that we are ranking for, and why are they coming. There are additional kind of checks and balances that you can put. Like you can say that, hey, am I ranking for the right keywords or not? What are the kind of, what was my rank in last month, and what is the rank this month? All of those things are possible and they should be done. um, but if these are legitimate 100 extra visits, you know that your SEO is working. The next question is, are you able to get this 5? If your conversion rate is 5%, are you able to get 5 signups? If you're not able to get 5 signups, okay, let's take a scenario where you're not able to get, if okay, start from the beginning. Let's say you're not able to get 100 visits in a month, additional visits in a month. You know that you got to talk to your SEO guy and say that, hey, we need to increase the number of visits, additional visits that we are getting. This has to be at least 5% in my view. Can we get it to 5%? What is the work that is needed to be done, right? Then you can decide based on your SEO budget. You know whether it is feasible or not, right? Then let's say you're getting 100, instead of 100 you're getting 150, right? All of them are legitimate visits. Then your question is, okay, are we able to get the signups or not, right? If you're not able to get the signups, then there is an analysis that is required to see why are people visiting our website but not converting or signing up. Like, is the copy written properly? Yeah, do the blogs have enough CTAs? Have I made it easy for them to sign up, right? Things like that, right? Then the question is, okay, I'm getting 5 leads, let's say. Suppose this is also working, right? Then am I able to convert those 5 leads into one customer? So one customer per 5 leads. Am I able to do that? If not, then I need to figure out what is my sales team missing, or what is my do I have things in the middle of the funnel and the bottom of the funnel that is able to convert these leads into customers or not? If not, then what can be done, right? So I need to figure that out. Then if that is done, then I know that I'm getting 12, right? And I am able to this average value. Then there are like other questions like, is the sales team able to sell or upsell or cross sell to make the average order value at 50,000 or not, in this hypothetical example, right? So if that is not happening, hey, you need to talk to the sales team and figure out how do we increase the average order value, right? So these are like questions that you can ask. Number of orders per customers, again the same thing. Is the sales team kind of trying to resell different other items or the same thing to the old customers or not? If the lifespan is smaller, can we increase the lifespan? So all of these things are there, right out there, right? Now you know what is required to get a profitable result out of your SEO efforts. If you show this to anyone in the top management, or if you are in the top management, then this will give you a sense of control that, my SEO is working, right? Because I'm able to get these numbers, right? And what I've noticed is, with customers who see this, who are able to do this properly, this takes some effort. It's not like a day's effort. If you don't have a proper CRM, this takes maybe a week. Sometimes it takes more, because you have to coordinate with your other teams, like sales teams and those teams, and other, sometimes you may not have a proper database. Those problems are there, but this is a one-time activity. Once you do this, everybody aligns to this. Now this is, although I call it an SEO budget and ROI sheet, this is technically more of a marketing strategy sheet, right? Because once you have these metrics in, you know what you have to focus on, right? I hope this helps. This has been a game changer for at least some of my clients who never thought of it like this. Some of the bigger ones, they already have something of this nature, so it's easier. But many people who don't have anything of this sort, this is like a game changer for them. It'll be out, like I'll put the link, so you can download this for free. You can use it and let me know if it is useful, right? I hope this helps. Please share if this has been useful for you. I really want to know. And I'll see you next time. All right. Bye. Take care.